This is Oye, a small village community located in the south of Benue State, Nigeria. In the first quarter of 2020, 7 news outlets reported of a strange illness that suddenly surfaced among members of its community. Victims exhibited symptoms like headache, diarrhea, vomiting, body weakness, and swollen stomachs. Because these symptoms were not consistent with diseases of major public health concern such as COVID-19, authorities scrambled to find out its nature and origin. Over a period of 4 months, Oye community lost over 200 residents. Investigations will later reveal that the nearby body water, the only drinking water source of the community, had been contaminated by harmful pesticide chemicals. The tragic incident in Oye community is a testament to the mounting dangers posed by the increased and unregulated use of dangerous pesticides in Nigeria, stimulated by the need to meet a rapidly rising food demand in the country. Although Nigeria's agricultural sector is a major pillar of the nation's economy, contributing as much as 22% to its GDP, population growth has outpaced the rate of food production. The United Nations predicts that the country's population will more than double by 2050, thereby fueling a rapidly growing consumer demand for food. This has pushed government and producers to focus on increasing productivity by promoting conventional agricultural inputs such as artificial fertilizers and pesticides. Much like in many African countries, the intensification of agricultural production to meet the demand of both local and export markets has been the justification to increase the use of pesticides in Nigeria, especially in monoculture cultivations where pest invasion are known to drop yield by up to 40%. However, the high level of pesticide use has resulted in many negative health, environmental, and economic impacts. The toxicity of pesticides is a well-known fact. Active ingredients contained in many of these products are able to cause serious harm such as cancer, infertility, or interfere with the hormone system. And because pesticides are designed to kill insects, they also have negative impact on the broader ecosystem, including pollinators, earthworms, or fish, especially when mitigation measures like buffer zones are not put in place. Many of the pesticide products used in Nigeria belong to a group of highly hazardous pesticides due to their high potential to negatively impact on human health and the environment. Many of these products have been proven to be carcinogenic, mutagenic, or neurogenic, and to have effects on fertility and reproduction. In fact, more than 40% of all pesticide products registered in Nigeria have either been withdrawn from the European market or heavily restricted due to their toxicity levels. A recent survey taken in 4 states of Nigeria showed that about 65% of pesticide used by interviewed small-scale farmers were categorized as highly hazardous, containing harmful active ingredients with high toxicity levels. According to the survey, chlorpyrifos, mancozeb, and glyphosate are some of the most frequent active ingredients in products used by farmers. Chlorpyrifos was recently withdrawn from Europe and Canada and is under discussion to be banned in the US. Mancozeb lost EU approval due to its high toxicity in 2021. In 2015, the International Agency on Research on Cancer found glyphosate to be probably carcinogenic. Nevertheless, all of these and similar toxic substances continue to be sold to farmers in Nigeria and recommended by agro dealers and extension officers across the country. All too often, farmers are unaware of the related health risk and often lack the necessary safety training for proper pesticide use. They also cannot afford the needed personal protective gear, thereby making them vulnerable to toxic exposure. Pesticide residues have also been found in food products harvested from Nigerian farms. Some of these residues exceed the maximum residue level, which is the maximum amount of pesticide residue allowed to remain on food products with no human health concern. The Nigerian government and its agencies have so far not been successful in addressing the challenges arising from the high use of toxic pesticides, and have at times added to the problem by incentivizing pesticide use. Agricultural input distribution was liberalized in 2018 with the Growth Enhancement Support Scheme established as part of the government's agricultural transformation agenda. This scheme clearly promoted high input agriculture that depends on pesticide use, but did not provide advice on pest management in general or the proper application of pesticides. And even though Nigeria signed a regional regulation on harmonization of rules governing pesticide registration in West Africa, meant to ensure a proper locally adopted risk assessment of chemicals prior to their entry into West Africa, it has not yet been incorporated into national legislation. The urgent need for Nigeria to increase its food production in order to tackle food insecurity and grow the economy away from its dependency on the oil sector is real. However, in the political decision-making about how to achieve this, the destructive side effects of the current approach, such as negative impact of highly hazardous pesticides, need to be taken into account more seriously. Nigeria's soil fertility, biodiversity, food security, and long-term economic success in a changing global climate depends on it. Sustainable and safe alternatives like biopesticides and highly productive farming methods that do not depend on the use of toxic inputs do exist. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development should become an active promoter of such and incentivize their use to reach scale. Right now, Nigeria still has the opportunity to put the right fundamentals in place to develop an agricultural sector that avoids some of the toxic legacies of industrialized farming methods widely used in the developed world, and that sustainably assures a safe national food market and a growing export market.